New day, new objectives. Looks like the mailman's dropping off some packages. Let's go see what he's got for us. We've had the same mailman for such a long time. The dogs are used to him. He brings us our mail and packages up to the house. What a good guy. Let's get him set inside and get back to the shop. I got somebody that's supposed to be dropping off a washer for me to take a look at here in the next couple minutes. I don't leave this door open much. It's cold and windy. We're gonna go ahead and open the door for him. That way when he gets here, he can just back up to the pad, we'll get it unloaded, and I'll jump right into checking it. My love, you can take a look and see what's going on? He brought a couple parts that he ordered. He tried to fix it himself, couldn't figure it out. This is where I'm gonna step in. Let's get it brought inside, get the door shut, and get to work. There they go. They're coming from both directions. Come on, you guys. Seneca's the gatekeeper. They got more variety out here to eat on than they do in the field. They've been getting feed and hay every night too. Got to keep them fed. Boogly boogly boo. I haven't seen this guy all morning. Why are you all dirty, man? Down here hanging out with my mom. I got my toolbox and whatever else I brought last night. Also went ahead and picked up a couple more bags of deer meat for me and Irvin to have up at the house. This man is filthy. What have you been doing, bro? Got the toolbox in its place. Let's get it cracked open and get to work. Let some natural light in. Everything's starting to warm up. Got the sheep grazing around. I replaced the timer in this old school Kenmore. Before I get to cleaning it up, I'm gonna check it one more time. This Admiral washer I picked up after I delivered one of mine. It's got bad shocks. Let's see what we can do to replace them today. This Samsung I replaced the shifter in. It's pretty rough shape as well, needs a good paint job. But we're gonna also test it one more time before we start cleaning it and painting it. Hooked up, running a load of clothes. While it runs, let's move on to the next machine. Look at this guy. Oakley. Running a quick little spin and drain cycle on this machine. The initial problem was it didn't want to spin. Now it's spinning and cutting off like it needs to. I'm getting ready to reinstall this body. It needs to be cleaned up pretty good. And then test it again. Shock replacement on this washer. Went ahead and took the drain tube off so it doesn't get damaged. Let a little bit of water out. I'm going to take this panel off. I took this panel off already. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the whole top and head unit. It's just gonna make the job a lot easier. Got these metal clips here, holding the head unit in place. Easiest way, get this pointy screwdriver I got, pull them up, then it should slide forward. Make sure you don't break these plastic clips. Next up, start disconnecting only what needs to be disconnected, which is going to be this here. Take your time, don't break it. Got a ground screw here. The cables to the inlet valve can stay because they'll come off with the top end. I always like to just put this screw back, screw it in a little bit. Take a pair of these needle nose. You got this little plastic rivet here that needs to come off. We don't want to break it because everything's got to come back on once we get it repaired. There we go. Okay, that's all the wires. This tube goes to the pressure switch. That way it knows when to stop filling up. Let's get this taken off and that should be it. Do this, do this. There's little metal clips on the front that you got to slide forward. We're going to set this thing down over here. Now we can get to work. Now that we got access to all four of the shocks, we can get them replaced. You can see there's a bunch of bounce in the drum. When it comes time to drain and spin, it starts banging around everywhere. Don't want that. set the washer on its side, put it on a piece of styrofoam so it doesn't scratch it up. Not all models are the same, but with this one, you got to pull the shock out the bottom. First, you got to release this plastic tab up here. Should come out pretty easy. We're going to reuse these. They're in good shape. You can slide it out the bottom, get it replaced. Do that to all four. Here's what the shock looks like. They vary based on manufacturer and model, but they all do the same thing. You can see this one's got a lot of play. Shouldn't be like that. Checking in on this Samsung washer. It's in the spin and drain cycle, working nice and smooth. We got some of the best neighbors around. They brought us a bunch of these eggs from their chicken houses. Me and Irvin will definitely enjoy these. My dad made it back, picked up a couple of these push mowers. My dad brought the old Zeter up here. He was grading some stuff out yesterday. We just went through, refueled it, made sure all the fluids are where they need to be. It's an old tractor, but she runs damn good and we want to keep it that way. So every time we're done using it, go over everything. Got a big ass fan blade in there, conditioned the belt. This is what we primarily use that old Zeter for. Try to make it as smooth as possible for the trucks and anything else. After getting the fuel tank cleaned out from the box truck yesterday, she fires right up. We got fresh diesel in it. It's getting the truck brought over here. Get ready for this weekend. Back in here, messing around with the side-by-side. We can get it to fire up. Sometimes it'll fire up no problem. Sometimes it does that, and sometimes it won't fire up at all. This switch in here, ignition switch, is having some problems. It's pretty old. We're gonna have to get it taken apart, probably order a new one. Got all the tools cleaned up. We're gonna leave the side-by-side for now. We have a pretty good idea of what's going on with it, but we just don't have the time today to start messing with it. We're gonna start off by replacing the ignition switch. The contacts are going bad in there. Sometimes it wants to, sometimes it doesn't. When we initially got the side-by-side about a year ago, we bought it not working. All it was a rat chewed up some of the wires and built a nest inside the intake where the air filter is, caused a bunch of problems. All we did was take it out, clean it up, and reinstall it, which was not the best idea, but it got the job done at the time. This time we're gonna take it out, replace the filter, go the extra mile, clean the whole intake, clean the carb, put some fuel injector cleaner in there. It's in pretty rough shape cosmetically, but the engine and transmission is good. I came in here, finished up the shock replacement, got all four of them in place. You can see now, not much bounce in the drum. That's the way we need it. Let's get the top end and head unit reinstalled and get it tested. All the wires are in place. Got the drain tube reconnected. Last thing to do is put the metal panel on the back of the head unit here, and then we're gonna take it to the testing bay. This Samsung washer finished out its third cycle with no problems. Next thing is get it cleaned up. It's pretty dirty, like most of the washers are. We're gonna get this thing taken out of here, clean it up, sand it down, and paint it. I got them all piled up here. Relax, buddy. Let's give them a snack. They love these little snacks. Come on, let's go outside. Let's go. Let's go outside. Come on. Want a snack? Oakley loves snacks. Sit, buddy. He's a good boy. Here you go, Emma. My love. No, Oakley. This man eats and sleeps. Brought this machine inside. Got some clothes in it. We're gonna let it run through a test cycle. Still needs to be cleaned up, but that's the last thing I do. No need in cleaning up a machine that doesn't work. I brought the Samsung out here while there's still some daylight. I'm gonna try to get it sanded down and touch up painted. We're gonna take this bleach tray out if we can. I gotta get the flathead screwdriver. Brought another washer out here. This thing's in pretty good shape. The problem is it doesn't agitate. The transmission's bad. We're gonna get it tore apart and see if we can get it swapped out. This washer we replaced the shocks in. Finished out its first cycle with no problems. No more bouncing around in the drum. Still needs a good cleanup. We'll hold off on that till tomorrow and then get it tested again. As far as this Samsung goes, I went ahead and disconnected the top half again, took the screws off the back, started sanding and chipping away this old paint. It's starting to rust away, but it's still salvageable. Tends to happen where you put the bleach. I also put this rag down here to catch as much as I could. We just ran our sprints for today. Getting ready to pack up the shop. Let me get my go-to bag and everything else I need. Close up the shop for tonight. Another successful day. We'll be back out here tomorrow.